Like many of you, we battled depression during life's ups and downs.
Music has always been the one thing that we could rely on to get us through the tough times that we all face.
Follow us on our journey as we discuss the healing power of music,
Interview bands,
break down genres,
review band biographies,
and more.
This is the When Words Fail
Music Speaks podcast
with Blake Mosley
and James Cox. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the When Words Fail Music Speaks podcast. Happy hour, I guess. I'm glad you're all work, right? Or
every hour is
okay.
happy hour
Right.
if you have the right mindset.
That's right. Yeah. So I am your professional handicap host, James Cox. And no, I'm still not the voice of Scooter from the Muppets. So there you have it. There you have it. Yeah, but who am I talking to?
You are talking to who is commonly referred to as the loudest guy in the room, but only when I'm playing the drums. I am your endless source of useless music knowledge. My name is Blake Mosley, but you can call me Brosley.
So what's up, my man? I have to talk to you in 2 days?
Yeah. Do you want to update on my toe?
Yeah. Yes, please do.
All right.
Please
I don't think it's broken.
Oh.
don't think it's broken. The swelling has gone down. Yeah, I don't think it's broken. The swelling has gone down tremendously, and it's still very blue. But I don't think it's broken. I think I just jammed the living crap out of it.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be okay.
Now, can you move it just a little bit more than you could?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I can move it a little bit better. It still hurts like the Dickens.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's broken. So that's good. Happy hour.
Oh, so let me ask you this: are you able to put on your socks without screaming in pain?
Barely.
Barely. Okay, so you still do scream.
Just a little bit. Thankfully, Allie's not here for her to hear me scream.
Yeah. Now, do you scream like Howard Jones to scream, or do you scream like Tom from Slayer?
Slayer.
How well did you scream? I mean, it's like
I'd say that
like
mine is more equivalent to who would I compare my screaming to? I'd compare my screaming to like maybe an early 2000s screamo band that was not very successful. Okay, hold on. I take it back. Because this band was very successful. I would compare my screaming to the front man of the band Alisana. So James, I don't know if you're familiar with that band, but it's a very high pitched, and I was not a fan of it to begin with, but I just learned to, or I started to appreciate their music a whole lot more. And it's now one of my favorite bands to come out of that era. So I would say, as I'm applying my socks to that foot in particular, the noise that exudes from my body and my vocal cords is that of the front man from Alisana. So
I gotta look him up. You got me interested in that. I don't know. Is it like a higher pitch squeal?
Very high pitch. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Not necessarily a pig squeal, but it's of the higher register. I can pig squeal.
Well, let's hear it.
You want me to demonstrate? Okay.
There you go.
I learned how to do that a long time ago, and I thought it was the coolest thing.
Right. Yeah.
But
I've always wanted to scream, sing, and like I don't want to do the pig squeal because I think that's more been out of my reach.
Very deathcore along those lines. But
I might have to get some singing lessons online because I really want to sing. I don't know. So I don't know.
Yeah. I think you should.
There's this guy on YouTube called, his name is Ken Tamplin. I'm not sure if you probably heard him once or twice in your life.
I've heard that name. Okay.
But I looked at his prices and he's boom.
Astronomical.
Yeah, you gotta be like a multi-millionaire. So, hey Dad, can I have some money? Kind of like GoFundMe.
I'll tell you what. if we start making bank with this podcast, you take all of that and you go get your vocal lessons that you've always wanted.
Nice, nice. Well, thank you, man.
Okay. Yeah, dude.
Well, first of all, we gotta get you a better microphone. I mean, it's not top notch right now, but that sure microphone
I agree.
sure gets.
I agree. I need a better microphone.
Yeah. Actually, you could go next door and borrow one of Travis's microphones since we live next door to him. Right?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. I don't live currently next door to Travis, but my mom still does. So maybe next time I'm out there, I'll just go next door and be like, "Hey, man, I'm gonna go in and just check on your house while you guys aren't there." And
don't count
I'll
your
just,
microphone.
yeah,
No,
yeah. He's probably got so many of them that he doesn't even
he doesn't even care
I'm sure
about.
he doesn't keep like inventory, right?
Yeah,
Of the microphones that he's collected over the years. So
if
what's
one
it gonna hurt?
if one goes missing, who cares, right?
Who cares? Yeah, he
That-
doesn't
that-
care.
It's a write off for him.
Yeah, exactly. Good way of looking at things.
It's like-
Happy hour. Every hour is happy hour, depending on your mindset. Put that on a t-shirt
That's
and
right.
then give me the money because it was
Yes.
my idea.
Yes. So, okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening into that banter we just did. We gotta do
yes.
that every show, just check up on each other.
Right.
But today is a Halloween leftover. I do believe because we are in November and November's eating month.
Yeah. I
So
don't know when this episode's coming out, but if it's pre-Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving to you and Yorn, and I hope that you guys have a safe Thanksgiving. If it's post-Thanksgiving, I hope it was good, and I hope you ate very well, and I hope that I can't say that no family function won't have some type of drama, but I hope it was minimal. As long as
Yeah.
you guys don't talk about politics or vaccines, I think that'll be the hot topic of many a fight this year for Thanksgiving. I guarantee you, if they do a poll by the time it's all said and done of what the top argument was at the Thanksgiving dinner table, probably something about vaccines. So
Yes.
just keep that in mind.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know nothing about politics, so I play stupid as hell when I talk about them.
care.
And I really don't.
I just learned. I'll tell you this, dude. We don't talk about politics on this show at all. But if you know me, you know I'm very like apolitical. I just don't care about either side. What it's not.
I don't give a shit. I don't care. I don't care either. But although I have a feeling that Ted Nugent's gonna. If we do, I'm not saying we have him, but if we ever get Ted Nugent on, I feel like that would have a political view before we talk about.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Because he is big into politics, dude, and I love him. I like his music. I like his guitar playing. I like the way he views gun laws. So anyway, yeah, because he hunts. I don't know. I mean, he's a big hunter. So
he's really into hunting and all that. And
I wonder if
he's a big gun guy.
I wonder if he ever hunted a bear with a bow and arrow. Now that's real hunting.
Yeah, that's something my father-in-law wants to do, and I swear if he ever actually does it, like I'll be very, very impressed.
Yes, me too. Because
he practices with a bow and a blow dart. They got him we got him a blow dart last year. The kids, and he's been using that like crazy.
Yeah, right.
So what? I'm so out of like politics, and I just don't keep up with politics. And people are like, well, if you don't, then you have no right to complain. You're right. That's why I don't complain about it.
Right.
I feel like I'm happier because of that, because I do stay out of all that. And it's like it's the last thing I want to worry about right now. I have no say in any of that anyway. But anyway, I just learned what "Let's Go Brandon" meant.
Yes.
I had no idea. I saw it on t-shirts, and I knew it was like an anti-Biden thing, but I had no idea what it meant. And someone at work was talking about that the other day, and I was like, what does that even mean? I hadn't invested enough time. I've not cared enough to look into that. And they finally told me, and I watched the the clip of where that started, and it was funny. And I was like,
Yeah.
that is pretty hilarious.
I did,
That reporter was like, oh, listen, they're saying, let's go, Brandon. That's great.
yeah.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah, but it's not Let's Go Brandon. It's something else.
Definitely not what they're saying.
No.
But I mean, how long ago was that? Like at least a month ago at this point.
Oh,
And
well.
I've heard people talk about that, and I'm just like, I don't know what that means.
I think that's been going on 2 months now, right? Because that's been
Something like that.
forever. Yeah, dude. So.
I remember seeing T-shirts at Disney World. People were wearing,
Let's
not
Go
Disney World
Brandon.
selling them, but people
Right,
were
yeah.
wearing shirts that said "Let's Go Brandon," and I was like, I
I
don't know what
mean,
that means.
I bet it had the little NASCAR strip right here, right? Like, I mean, it's like the NASCAR strip. Let's Go Brandon, I guess.
It just said "Let's Go Brandon," and then there was a guy that was in that dude's party that was walking around that was wearing a FJB shirt.
Yeah.
It just said FJB on, and I was like, I know what that means, but I don't know what "Let's Go Brandon" means. Now I know. So
That's the nicer way to say
anyway,
FUJB. So anyway, like I said before, this is
right.
this
Justin,
is how
the very
Justin Bieber, right?
people out there.
Fun you, Justin Bieber, right? No, it's not.
Y'all leave him alone.
There you go. But but like I said before, this is a post Halloween episode, maybe. Anyway,
Post Halloween.
the Heebie Jeebies.
Yeah.
We learned of that word, of that quote, with
Woo.
our Chris Jericho scary story episode, right? Because he had
Right.
Heebies being in the house, right?
And
Yeah.
this is right.
Yeah.
And this is definitely a James episode for sure. He's the one that suggested this one. So kudos to you, James, for sending me the notes and or sending me the article and everything for this one. And looking forward to diving into this, but let's admit it, right? So we're all guilty of just spending our time jamming out to our favorite songs, and we really don't take the time to look into the lyrics and dive into what the song even means. So you may come to find that after this episode is over, you might just be sitting there and thinking, good Lord, some of my favorite songs were actually deeply, deeply disturbing. So this is your final warning. If you hear us talk about a song before we get into it and you'd rather us not ruin it for you, skip ahead a little bit. Just keep it in 15 seconds ahead and kind of see where we land until we get to the next one. So final warning.
Final warning. Dun dun dun.
Do you want to start us out here?
Yes. Okay. So first of all, the Beatles is like favorite, one of my favorite bands of all time. And I just got a notification, but that's okay. So yeah. So let's talk about "Running for Your Life." Another. Well, that's kind of like a spooky title, isn't it? "Run for Your Life." So in the beginning, the Beatles wrote the book on guitar-based pop rock for half a century. But not everything was unicorns and rainbows, like "I Want to Hold Your Hand" or "Love Me Do." So by 1965's Rubber Soul, the Fab Four were incorporating different styles in their songwriting. The story in "Run for Your Life" is about a man who kills his significant other. If he finds she's been with someone else.
Oop.
Yeah. There's an unforgettable line saying, I'd rather see you dead, little girl, than to be with another man." I never knew that. I never knew those little lyrics.
Creepy.
So it was lifted from Elvis Presley's "Baby Let's Play House." But John Lennon took it and ran with it, adding adding on top of the Beatles gleaming guitar, jungle, uh, jangle, jungle. Wow, can't talk today. Uh, jangle that he meant everything he says. Baby, I'm determined, and I'd rather see you dead.
Yeah,
So
that's very stalkerish and unsettling to say the least, especially from the coming from the Beatles.
right.
I don't know if Allie's aware of that song. I'm sure she's aware of the song. I'm not sure if she's paid attention to those lines before,
I
but
I haven't ever paid attention to things, so I guess it just slips by. He kind of
yeah,
moving and jiving, and oop, there's the there's the significant line that says, "I rather
right.
see you dead than with another man," and that's I guess everybody can relate to that, kind of sort of in a
Right.
disturbing way. But
True.
yeah, man, I never knew that.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to another. Well, I shouldn't say this band is upbeat because they're definitely lumped into the emo category for sure. But Death Cab for Cuties, I will possess your heart. So the lyrics, you reject my advances and desperate pleas, are what Ben Gibbard sings in Death Cab for Cuties emo classic, I will possess your heart. It also says, won't you let me won't you let me down so easily? That language may seem more transparent now, but when the song first emerged as the lead single from the 2008 album Narrow Stairs, plenty of listeners thought it was just a progressive sounding indie rock tune with intense lyrics about romantic love. The song is basically about a stalker. Gibbard later clarified, it's about this nice guy who wants this girl he can't have, and he believes that they'll be together once she realizes how great he is.
Mm.
He just has to wait it out. That's the part that makes the song really creepy. Yeah,
Yeah,
another classic tale of
it's
yeah,
weird.
like I love her and one day I'm going to make her realize that she loves me too. And that's kind of troubling.
Yeah, but that actually, okay, so I have this friend who liked a girl, right? And she didn't know
Right.
him for years and years and years. But
Mhm.
now they married each other. She finally,
Oh, okay.
she finally came to
Just a
realize
persistent.
that, hey, you're the one.
Yeah.
She went through all these guys, and I guess he was there all along.
What a happy tale.
Right.
And sometimes it works out that way. Sometimes you just have to be persistent. But there's a fine line between being persistent and being a stalker.
Yes.
So be
So,
careful, guys and gals. Be careful out there. If
right.
you notice anything like that, please tell somebody. Tell your brother. Tell your dad. Tell your whoever. Any type of person that can interfere if they need to. Um,
Or,
and
I mean, if you like being stalked, I mean,
yeah, if you're into that thing, I mean, we're
each
not
his
gonna
own.
shame you for that. Sure.
To each his own, right? To each his
To
own.
each his own.
How much do you like Filter? I love Filter.
I can only tell you that this is the only Filter song that I'm aware of. I can't name you any other Filter. I never, not saying I never got into them. I just never gave them any more of a chance than hearing this. And I forgot what movie it was. I think it was a Jim Carrey movie
I think so.
where he's
He,
maybe Cable Guy, where he's playing basketball and
yes,
this
yeah,
song is playing. Yeah.
yeah.
Whoops.
Um,
Sorry.
I'm sure you've heard of the song "Picture." Do you want to take my picture? Because I won't remember. I
I don't
can't.
think I know that one. See?
Oh, holy
Gave
crap!
me a nice shot. It's the only one I got.
Man, you need to listen to more
I will.
Filter.
I will.
That singer. Take 2 songs and call me in the morning. Doctor prescribed. Right.
I like that. You
Oh,
put that on a shirt.
yes.
Take these
2
two
songs.
songs and call me in the morning.
That's right. Yes, that's a multi-million-dollar shirt, right?
Put
Oh,
that
and
on our shirts. Okay, yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So yes. When words fail, excuse me, when words fail, merch plug. We're gonna get some t-shirts. One is gonna say um every hour is happy hour if you have the right mindset.
Yeah. All right.
Then
Exactly. And
yours is gonna be take 2 songs and call me in the morning.
Yes,
I like that.
$1 billion idea, right? Oh,
Woo! I'm
side
liking
note.
those songs right now, by the
Side
way.
note. So, Filter. Did you know that Filter was the backup band for Trent Reznor's Nine Inch Nails?
No, I didn't know that.
Yep.
Wow.
And
And
then
they say I'm the one with the useless music knowledge. Not that that's useless, but there you go. You're hitting me with some knowledge, dude. I had no idea.
there you go. Okay, there you go. It's kind of like had planet Earth. You didn't know that PE means planet Earth. It does
Didn't know
now, right?
that.
Yeah. So okay. So Filters. Hey man, nice shot.
Mm.
Filters breakout hit. Hey man, nice shot. Has been seemingly uplifting title that an entirely unaware listener might think it is compliment about basketball. Hey, like you said,
Like I
basketball.
said, it was in a movie. Yep.
Boom. Yeah. And to add to that, the song itself is a crunchy industrial rock jam. But it takes its inspiration from Pennsylvania State Treasurer R. Bundy Dwyer's.
Mm.
Um, so in 1987, oh, Buddy Dwyer's death in 1987, death by suicide in front of reporters during the live press conference. The lyrics on their own gave sparse indication of this, right? Because no one knew what it was about, you know. However, the timing of the song's release in '95 made many think it was about Kurt Cobain's death.
Yeah, bad timing.
Right. Yeah. Yet the truth was even creepier. The Nirvana icon didn't die in front of bystanders.
Yeah, so I don't know if you're familiar with the R. Bud Dwyer thing, but there was a scandal involving this guy in 1987, like you said, and I forgot exactly what the scandal was. I think it had something to do with money. I'm sure it was something. He was a treasurer, so I think it had to do something with money. But anyway, he got found out, and he was about to do some serious jail time. And he goes in front of a bunch of reporters to do this press conference regarding the matter. And he's talking, and dude just pulls out a gun and just kills himself in front of a live broadcasting of this press conference right there. And obviously they don't show the death on YouTube, but I have seen the it's like those YouTube videos where it's like 10 unbelievable things captured on live TV. Well, that was one of the things on there. So that was the first time I had heard about that.
Yeah.
And it is very eerie to watch.
Yeah.
But I had no idea that was the inspiration for "Hey Man, Nice Shot." And now that I know that, I'll never listen to that song the same way. And it was terrible timing because Kurt Cobain's death and everything. But yeah, Kurt Cobain did not kill himself. First off, I don't think he killed himself at all. But if you want to call it suicide, if we're going with that story, he was alone, so wasn't in front of anybody.
Courtney loves to blame.
That's what I'm saying.
She hired people. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
we can do a whole episode on that. I promise you.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
So yeah. So this next song is very, very eerie. Listening to it now, I heard about this forever ago, and now that I know, I'm sure you heard about this one too.
Yeah. Right.
But Foster the People, Pumped Up Kicks. That opening bass line is just very happy. Boom, doom, 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 doom. People, yeah. Better run faster than my bullet.
Okay,
Outrun my gun.
So before you give, a leadway to this,
Sure.
I really, really like that song, but I have the feeling I won't like it after what you are telling us.
Well, here's the thing.
Because to me, it's like a fun-filled song, and that knowing this now, it's yeah. That's
yeah. Well, here's the thing. So that song came out 11 years ago at this point now, which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
But when it came out, I remember because this right there in the chorus it is right there in the chorus. All the, what is it? The young kids with the pumped up kicks, better run, outrun my gun.
Yeah.
And we were just sitting there singing it, and it was on the radio. And I feel like if that song probably came out in a time where it wouldn't have been censored, but I don't feel like that song would have, if that song would have come out last week, I don't think it would have been on the radio.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
No.
I don't think it would have ever made it past that. And if it did, it would have definitely been
Censored for
edited
sure.
heavily.
Yeah.
And I never heard it edited. I heard it on the radio like that. And I was like, good Lord, have y'all ever paid attention to this? Anyway, let's get into it.
Okay.
So if there's an indie pop song that's that sound is the 180-degree opposite of its lyrics, it's got to be Foster the People's 2010 sleeper hit, Pumped Up Kicks. The track is an absolute banger, but discerning listeners who tuned into the catch, you didn't even have to be discerning about it. It was just there. You sang it.
I see what you did. Your absolute banger. Banger.
Oh, I didn't even mean to do that. I'm sorry. That was not intentional. That was in poor taste on my part. Sorry, everybody.
What what you did there? So I mean, just pointing it out.
But yeah, so discerning listeners who turned into the catchy refrain found out that it's portraying a disturbed individual willing to shoot others for their shoes. Foster the People's Mark Foster once explained, I wrote Pumped Up Kicks when I began to read about the growing trend in teenage mental illness. I wanted to understand the psychology behind it because it was foreign to me. It was terrifying how mental illness among youth had skyrocketed. Yeah, and he's right. This is around the time I believe that it was starting to become more evident that kids go through some stuff, man. Teenagers go, that is a hard time to be alive. I think everybody who has ever that can recall their teenage years will probably tell you that was some of the hardest times in their life. It's a weird transition between being a kid and being an adult.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of unknowns, and you have a lot of things going on with you name it. I mean, your body, your finances, because you're trying to like get a job.
Yeah.
And just it's weird, man. It's a horrible time. And mental illness, if it was already stemming from something else, a lot of times it like boils over in your teenage years. So your brain hasn't fully developed yet, so you make very irrational decisions about things, and it could lead to really terrible things if not treated properly. So kudos to him for wanting to explore that, but you almost have to dig into it further and hear his explanation about that, because otherwise you're just singing songs about shooting people over shoes.
I don't even know what.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, okay, so
all right. Listen, before we get into this next one, I'm just gonna say I never cared for this song to begin with. Never was crazy about it. But even more so now, I'm just got the Heebie Jeebies.
Heebie Jeebies. That's the word of the day, y'all. Heebie Jeebies. So I think this song, correct me if I'm wrong, Rosalie, but this song came out in the 80s, right?
It did. Mm-hmm. Okay. Big 80s pop.
So everybody knows the song. It's my Sharona. Boom, boom, boom. Everybody knows that song now, right? So it's
right.
It's I guess it's a classic song now. I mean, because many people know that offhand. The first beat of it, everybody, oh yeah, that's the neck. So this is probably one of the most well-known examples among rock fans of seemingly happy love songs that just actually are just plain old creepy. Dude. And that may be kind of hard to believe with the guitars catchy, right? Back and forth octave riffs that drives my Sharona, right? Yep. So the band's lead singer, Doug, I'm just gonna say Doug because that's Figure,
maybe.
Fieger.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Finger.
Wrote wrote the song's lustful lyrics about the infamous Shrona when he was 17 and he was 20. She was 17 and he was 26, according to the Wall Street Journal. Never gonna stop, give it up, such a dirty mind, he sings. Always get it up always get it up for the touch of the younger kind. This is the kind.
There it is.
This
That's
is
the one.
this is the kind that will get you canceled today.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Again, if this was to come out recently, it would be canceled in a heartbeat, man.
You know what?
It is.
I never really paid paid much time about the lyrics. I just hummed the guitars and it's like my Sharona. I didn't really
So
care about
that's
what
the
the song
thing.
was about, you know? I mean, the
So
song is so catchy. You're like,
yeah.
never mind it, you know what he's saying. I want to go with the guitars and the my Sharona, you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's yeah.
Well, so think about it like this too. Okay.
Yeah.
Think of the time frame when this came out. So we didn't have I'm talking about like I was there. I was not there. But the music was not as easily accessible then, right? So unless you had it, if you bought the record, um, or whatever,
Yeah.
then you couldn't just listen to it whenever you wanted to. You'd have to hear it on the radio, right? And you may only catch portion. Hey kids, on the radio, you can't start the song over or skip past it. It's just whatever's there is there. So like you might catch like a part of the song, right? And maybe you didn't pay attention, but you're like, oh yeah, bum, 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 my Sharona. And you know, it's your favorite summer jam. But now with these songs where you can dissect them and we can be listening to it right now and I can, you know, hear him say, always get it up for the touch of the younger kind. I can say, wait a second, sir. And you pause it and you go back and you listen to it and you're like, yep, he's talking about being in love with younger people.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's different now. It's different now.
Yeah.
So, and that's another example of, so that is not in the chorus, I don't believe. I think that's just part of the verse. But with Foster the People's Pumped Up Kicks, we're singing the chorus like right there. And that's the part that gets repeated over and over again. That's the catchy part of the song.
Yeah.
And we all just sang it and was like, y'all aren't going to dive into that a little bit more. But yeah, my Sharona definitely slipped through the cracks of that one. Because I had never paid attention to it until we started doing notes for this and was like, oh gosh.
Right. And I see what you did there because the next song intertwines
With our banter.
right
And with this.
and
Our banter and with the previous song.
and with the Maestro. So why don't you talk about Mr. We talked about him earlier in the show, Ted Nugent. Ted Nugent.
Mr. Nugent. Yep. Jailbait. So much like my Sharona, Ted Nugent's Jailbait is a song that just sounds like some good old-fashioned rock and roll on the first listen. But as indicated in its title and made further explicit in the lyrics, it's about pursuing underage women. Mr. Nugent has a storied history of that pursuit, depending on what narrative you believe. When the singer and guitarist was around 30 years old in 1978, he began a relationship with a 17-year-old girl. So even older than the My Sharona guy. But her name was Pele Massa. And rumors persist that he became her legal guardian to continue their relationship. That's weird. Parts of the story are unproven, but, the musician himself said in a Behind the Music episode that he always, quote, got the stamp of approval of the parents, gross, of the young girls that he wooed. And by the way, Nugent has denied adopting Pele. So, believe what you will. I guess we'll never truly know. But yeah, that's a little weird, man.
Okay, so I'm gonna. So this might be the gun smoke that gets them. Okay, so Ted Nugent dated a female 17 and he was 30, correct?
Yes.
According to okay. So
Yep.
I'm led to believe that only one reason. Okay, so I got this in the mail today. Guess
Oh,
what this
okay.
title is called?
Penetration, is that what it says?
Penetrator.
Penetrator. Ugh.
The Ted, Ted, you see this? Ted
I
Nugent,
see him.
but I got
I
the
see.
I got the promo yeah the promo one. So I
Yeah.
had to pick up. So it's $6 for one, right?
Yeah,
So
sure. Why not?
I like Ted Nugent's music, so if anybody you do like Ted Nugent,
I mean,
everyone.
yeah,
Um,
he's got
he's,
good songs, man.
he's a very good artist, but some of his uh lifestyle is not too much of a big fan of mine.
Yeah,
He
I get that.
hunts. He hunts well. I mean, he's got a book that says, um, like like cook them before you. I don't know. It's a smart book title, but yeah, but
Right.
um, as far as his views, sometimes is not very much
Sure.
on the up and up. So yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah. So the next, have you seen The Office, the, the TV show?
Of course.
Okay.
Yes.
So I remember Kevin being in the police cover band.
Yeah.
It's called the Synchronicity 2. He's like,
Yeah.
don't y'all go for Synchronicity 1, they suck. Because I was a cool band, that's the greatest thing
Yeah.
ever made. So I love y'all. But leading into this song, it's the Police's "Every Breath You Take." Okay, right. So I know this song as a fun Karen song, but since this, I mean, yeah, this is a
It's a little
problem,
more.
right?
Sure.
Here is one that practically became a legend for a catchy rock song with lyrics so dark that the listener often looks right past them, which we do. We never
We do.
knew. I never knew this.
Yeah.
So, released as a lead single from the Places Synchronicity album. Two. No, I'm just playing that one. Right, Kevin. In spring of '83, "Every Breath You Take" became a massive international hit, one that everyone assumes was a feel good song about being deeply in love, which I thought it was. And I know
Yep.
you did too. We all did.
Did. Oh, we all did. Yep, absolutely.
Because I think the video was a like a girl running at a beach, and it's like all like lovey dovey kind of thing.
Sure.
But that's not the issue here. The issue was newsflash. It's about an obsessive stalker. Surprise, surprise, right? Uh, more or less. I think it's a nasty little song, really rather evil. Sting reportedly told an audience the year it came out. Well, if you okay, I don't know why I wrote it.
Yeah, he went with it, man. Yeah.
It's about jealousy and surveillance and ownership. Wow, ownership. That's not a good word here. So
Right.
regardless, it's now undeniably his signature song and his biggest moneymaker when it comes to publishing profit. Eh,
Yeah.
yeah, so I
Yeah.
mean, okay, so
Now,
okay,
if that, if that triggers you somehow and you are saying to yourself, "Oh, I can never listen to Every Breath You Take ever again." Just listen to the Puff Daddy remake of that song,
yes,
sampling he used for it, because that song is about the life and legacy of the Notorious B.I.G. It is not about stalking people.
no,
It just they even rewrote the lyrics for
yeah,
that Puff Daddy version. So, do you remember? It's not funny, but do you remember the YouTube uh guy from like over 10 years ago, Tourette's guy? Do you remember him?
yes, yes,
Okay. So there was
The one that says Bob Saget and said, "Oh damn
Bob
it,
Saget. Yeah,
Bob yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah."
So one of the videos that I remember of him, of his was he's sitting there on the he calls Colgate. He calls the like helpline on the back of a Colgate tube
Yeah.
to complain because their toothpaste tastes terrible, is what he said. He didn't say it quite correctly, but
Yeah.
congrats guy. But he calls it in and they put him on hold. He's like, "Yes, I'll hold." And they put him on hold and they have this hold music playing and it's, Every Breath You Take, but you don't know if it's the Police version or if it's going to be the Puff Daddy version. So
Right.
the song's just playing and he's like, "This better be the Puff Daddy version of the song." And it's not. And
And it's
Sting
not,
starts singing
and
and he's like, "Ah!" And he starts freaking out. And it's
so,
so funny. I don't know why. I just thought memory unlocked whenever we started talking about that. But
and man, I used to watch them all the time, dude. All the time.
YouTube gold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
YouTube Gold. And I think
YouTube.
and I think he freaks out one time because the theme song of Night Rider come on, and his son
Yeah.
was doing laundry and bringing the laundry in, and he knocked over his son with the
Yeah.
the Night Rider did it for him. I'm not sure why,
Yeah.
got mad listening to like a Night Rider theme. So
Right.
yeah, but Every Breath You Take is a well known song from Sting's repertoire.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I don't understand why people have to write so much stalker music now. Or maybe it
Yeah.
was
A
in
lot.
because that was written in the 80s.
Common theme. It is a
It's,
common theme with a lot of these things. It's a stalker of some
yeah,
kind. Yeah.
right. Yeah. So
All right. Well, let's move on to one of your favorite bands. Stone Temple Pilots, Sex Type Thing.
mm,
So Sex Type Thing is a grunge barn burner that could get any rock listener bumping their head to the beat. And it absolutely is.
yeah.
And based on the title, tune, and even the bulk of the lyrics, a new fan might think it's a song about consensual sex. Well, you're wrong. Scott Weiland said about it, I don't or excuse me, he said, "I know you want what's on my mind." Vocalist Scott Weiland sings, "I know you like what's on my mind." But he explained that the song is about rape. And it reportedly was written after a woman he was dating was raped by 3 men. That's very sad. In the lyrics, it also sounded like the antagonist is victim blaming, saying, "I said you shouldn't have worn that dress." Ugh.
Mm,
So, but at least Scott Weiland is writing it up in response to him knowing someone that has
right.
gone through something so awful like
He
that.
didn't do
So,
it. Someone else did. So yeah.
right.
But see, that's not my favorite song from Core because this was off their first album, Core, and
Yeah.
Plus is my all time favorite.
Plush.
It's
Yes, sir.
the Temple song ever
Yeah, it's a
made
great.
it. Yeah. So
Yeah.
so that's I didn't really like that song. It just didn't grab me, like
Yeah.
many of their other songs would do
Sure.
after that,
Yeah.
because the Purple album was like their best album ever, I think. The second album. So I
Sure.
mean, you can beat it. So Sublime,
Ooh, yeah, this is a good song.
Wrong Way. I don't think I know heard it, but I don't recollect it right now.
It's a really good song. And I always like I remember hearing the opening lyrics and kind of being like, this is gonna be a rough song. Let's do it. But they had songs like that. Like there was another one that was on, this site that we kind of gathered the lyrics for today's episode. There's another Sublime song that was on there called Date Rape.
Yeah.
I didn't include that one in this one because it's not necessarily a creepy type of song. It's more of like it. So the story behind Date Rape, which I love songs like that, where it's like a story played out, right?
Right.
So is this girl goes on a date with the guy and, unfortunately he drugs her and he rapes her, sadly. And, but she ultimately gets revenge on him Now I love stories like that. I love movies like that too, where something terrible happens and like the victim gets revenge in the end against the
Yes.
person that did her wrong.
Yes.
Like those types of movies are great. And that's kind of what the song is. Like she gets her revenge on him for that. Wrong Way is more of like just trying to I mean, it's right there in the title. It's the wrong way, but
Right.
yeah, get
Okay.
yeah, take it. You
Okay.
got it.
So Sublime's wrong. I'll take it. Yeah.
You
Uh,
take that one.
Subli- Sublime's wrong way. Uh, Starts with lyrics that in no way hides the uncomfortable story about untold. Frontman Bradley Noel sings, and he's 12 years old, and two more she'll be a whore. Oh no.
Mm,
Um,
yep.
Nobody ever told her it's the wrong way. It seems listeners in the late 90s had no problem overlooking some fairly disgusting lyrics, uh, distressing lyrics, when it came to an accessible tune. Even in the ska punk realm, um, but at least Wrong Way isn't glorifying the creepiness as it's a, cautionary tale. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's not Bradley Noel saying, that he's attracted to a 14-year-old girl
right,
by any means. It's a cautionary tale. It is, trying to steer her a different way.
right,
Nobody ever told her it's the wrong way.
right. But
So
that's the only way.
and it's a
So,
very upbeat sounding song. Like it starts out kind of soft and you don't really know where it's going, but like that typical Sublime kind of upstroke with the upstrum or whatever you want to call it.
stop it. Yeah,
Kind of
stop.
happy sounding, drums kick in. Yeah, that ska punk type of thing kicks in and sounds like a fun summertime jam, and it is not. So
Okay, so a lot of people think that bands write songs based on your life, and I understand the way how they get that person thought in their heads, but that's not the case
yeah,
at all. These bands write songs about other people to get you aware, and I mean, if you see this, tell somebody or something. I think
say something. Yep,
right. I think that's what he was trying to get across. I mean, if you see
sure.
somebody like this, encourage her to get out of it.
The wrong way.
Right. Yeah. And I think that's what he was saying. So
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
so that's
R.I.P. Bradley Noel.
there we go.
So this next one, now listen, is this episode coming out before we do a cover wars on this song? If it is, then this can be the teaser for the cover wars that we've got coming out.
After no. Oh yeah, yes, it's coming out before because that's coming out next week. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so this episode, this cover
Coming
wars
up.
episode we have coming up is going to be on this song. So you can learn all about the background of the song here, and we'll go into a little bit more of that in the cover wars. But
There.
so yeah, Third Eye Blind's "Semi Charmed Life." Third Eye Blind made it abundantly clear in the lyrics of "Semi Charmed Life" that the song is about doing meth in the weird situations and unwanted circumstances that can result. But it is so insanely catchy that listeners either missed it or just didn't care when it became a hit in 1997. Perhaps it's that memorable do 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 do, that little hook that colors people's perceptions. Band leader and song's writer Stephen Jenkins once told Kerrang, in terms of the dark lyrics and the catchy tune, I was just messing with whatever the paradigm was. I've always had a mischievous nature in that way, and I'm not a formulaic writer. I don't have some cookie cutter method. Yeah, the whole song's about doing meth. And that's not the only song that's kind of like that. And we'll get to another one coming up that's also about doing meth, but that sounds like it's a lot happier than it probably should be. But yeah, man, that 1997. I don't know exactly. I have it in my other notes when the song came out, but it's always been a good summer song. So and it's that opening. It sounds so happy. Do 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 doing meth. Let's do some meth now. Like,
See, that's another song we can write. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
But yeah, it's all about like doing drugs and all of the crap that comes with it. So could be a cautionary tale if you want to look at it that way, but
yeah.
we'll get into more of that on our next Cover Wars episode.
There you go. Yes, because we are doing a couple work on that song, on that very song. So it's
That very
kind of
song.
it's kind of good that this was on it. So,
Yeah.
so Attila, is Attila still your most hated band? Well, back up. Most disliked, because I feel like hate is a very strong word. I like the
Strong.
word. I love the word disliked. I don't like the word hatred.
I will say this. There are some songs that Attila has that I think are pretty catchy.
Right.
But then when I look into the lyrics, I'm like, this guy is a douchebag, and he really is. The singer Franz from Attila, he is a huge loser, I think, in my opinion.
Okay.
But I don't think I hate that. Now, there's some songs that I absolutely think are hilarious. Like Pizza by
Yeah.
Attila is very funny, and it's a good song, and they're a good heavy band. Their whole band is very talented, but sometimes Franz can just be a little too much, and I'm like, dude, you got to get over yourself.
So I am 100% by your corner when you said that. But my band I totally dislike is Avenged Sevenfold.
Ooh, really?
I feel the
You don't
exact way
like
you do.
A7X?
I do. I feel exactly the way you do about Attila that I do
Okay.
Avenged Sevenfold. I just think
M
that
Shadows. You're not a fan of M Shadows, then,
no,
huh?
I just think he's a complete, you know,
I can see that. He's kind
yeah,
of a tool.
yeah, he's kind of a douchebag
Yeah.
too at times, you know.
Yeah.
Uh
But they had better songs, in my opinion.
yeah, I will give you that. I
And
will
the
definitely.
Rev. Had
Yeah,
the Rev.
I mean the Rev,
Rev
yeah,
was a great
yeah, I love
drummer.
the Rev.
One-
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so Avenged Sevenfold, A Little Piece of Heaven. Okay.
Yeah. All
So
right. So you're not an Avenged Sevenfold fan. So are you familiar with this song?
I am not. So why don't you think this? Because I'm not. Yeah, no.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that. We'll switch off for this one. I'll take this one because I was a big Avenged Sevenfold fan.
Okay.
And there's a I think it's in the notes, but there's a music video that goes along with this that's like all animated music video. But anyway, so yeah, Avenged Sevenfold, A Little Piece of Heaven. Don't be fooled by the title. Avenged Sevenfold's A Little Piece of Heaven quickly deteriorates from what looks like a regular love song
All
into a brutal murder with lyrics such as must have stabbed her 50 effing times. And also throws in some necrophilia. So that's not fun. Nevertheless, the heinous narrator soon gets what he deserves when his victim gives him a taste of his own medicine. And by the time this gory story ends, this lovely couple is reunited in some kind of afterlife as husband and wife. Yeah, so the song is really weird. It's a 7-minute song about this couple that the guy ends up killing her, and then has relations with her body, and then she comes back from the grave and kills him, and then they're both zombies and they live happily ever after.
Well, that's a fun story.
And there's an animated music video to go along with it. I'll have to send you the music video.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
All right, James. Got an idea for a YouTube episode. Okay. You'll have to do a reaction to the music video.
Okay, done.
But trigger warning, if some people are probably not going to like that song or that music video, but James is going to do a reaction video to A Little Piece of Heaven by Avenged Sevenfold.
I will. I'll
Yeah.
take my pride and throw it out the window and do a Avenged Sevenfold video. So
Yeah.
there you have it. Okay. So,
And the Rev sings on that song. The Rev was still alive when that song came out. So he not only plays drums on it, but he also sings on that song. So
Cool. Cool.
yep.
So you and I have shared love for this band. This next one, it's Nirvana. Nirvana's like since like one of the best punk slash rock bands of all time. Okay,
Right.
so I thought this next song was about a bird. Everybody thought it was about.
bird.
Oh, he was
Not about a bird.
not about a bird, apparently. So, the gentle acoustic swing of Polly contrasted brightly against the electrified assault of Nirvana's Nevermind. Right, it was on the first record, and I think it was no third record. Nirvana was the third record. I think this is a slowed down version of Incestide's version, because then Polly come out on the second one.
There was a song called New Wave Polly.
There you go.
That was a lot faster.
Right.
And it was on Incesticide.
Yes, this is a much slow. Right, yeah. So this version is a
He
slow down.
rewrote it. Yeah, this one's like just an acoustic guitar, and like Dave Grohl like hits a cymbal like maybe 2 or 3 times in the song. Four times. He hits it 4 times.
4 times.
That's all he does.
The only reason why I know that is because it was on Rock Band, and it's 4 times 4 cymbals.
No way.
Yeah, that's I know. Another useless knowledge.
I'm sorry I am really sorry to anybody who probably got a poor score on Rock Band if you had to play the drums for Polly.
Okay. Yeah, so it was okay. So it was on the album Nevermind. Okay. So leading me to assume this was a sweet innocent love song about a bird. I thought it was, but it's not. But of course, just a quick glance at Kurt Cobain. Chris Cobain. I can't believe I said that. But Chris Kurt Cobain's lyrics were enough to reveal the song's dark interpretation. Specifically, in an article, the singer read about a 14-year-old girl's lucky escape from an abductor, but not before being tortured and sexually assaulted.
Yeah, thank God she got out of that. She got out of that alive. But yeah, what a horrible thing to go through.
I had no idea. You know?
Yeah, it is a creepy song, and I noticed that before when I kind of listened to the lyrics, and I'll tell you what, I remember being in a band. I think I've mentioned this before. I think he even listens to the show. Corey Jones, my buddy Corey, if you're listening, I appreciate it. But I remember being in a band with Corey where he was a huge Nirvana fan, and we learned a lot of Nirvana songs. And Polly was one of those that we like kind of like learned, and like New Wave Polly was one that we wanted to play, and kind of looked into it. And I was always fascinated with the way that Dave Grohl sang the harmonies, especially being the drummer. And so like you're diving into the song, and I was trying to learn the harmonies, and we're looking at the lyrics, and it's just like, ugh, this is strange. But yeah, it's about a story of a girl who got away, and thankfully, but what a horrible thing to go through.
Yeah, I know. Right.
Yeah.
So you're probably gonna mess up my mind right now with this next band, because it's.
Hey, I'm gonna let you. How about you take this next one?
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh wait. Okay. If you don't, and you want me to do it, and you just want to cover your ears,
I'll take my headset.
I just figured because this was Deftones. I know you love the Deftones.
Love them. Because this is off of like one of the greatest albums ever made, White Pony.
Yep. Absolutely.
I'll take it. I'll shut down my pride again and do this.
You got it, buddy. You can do it.
So Deftones. Everybody knows the Deftones. Everybody loves the Deftones, except some people like Incubus better. But that's okay, because Incubus was awesome too. So this album was off of what I said before. It's a White Pony album. It's called Change. And just because it's the Deftones' most successful single, doesn't mean that change in the House of Flies, it's called, is easily
Yep.
understood. And the band is certainly hasn't gone public about its true meaning, if there is one. Instead, this profoundly disturbing classic boasts minimalist associations and a few provocative words such as a cross, a gun,
Mm,
to produce a sense of disorientation and dread over their textured musical bed. It's
mm.
is the narrator subject of a literal fly, a serial killer victim, or something even worse? Knowing for sure
Mm.
can't be half as entertaining as imagining.
Yeah, music is always leaving you open to interpretation, right? So
Right.
you can listen to a song and take it one way. I can listen to it and I can take it another way. And I think that's what's good about this song. So it's not bad in the sense of like now you
Right.
can't listen to it the same way. It's more like challenging you to what is your interpretation of this song? Is it about an actual fly? Is it about a serial killer victim? You
Right.
know, who knows?
So
What do you think it is?
okay,
So
okay, so I will say this. Help me. Childish is a childish. What's his name? Oh,
Childish Gambino.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Childish Gambino was once asked. Um, what was the song? His like popular song. Which one is it? It's about.
Uh,
This is
this
America.
is America.
Okay, yeah. So during
Yeah,
the Star Wars interview, he was asked what that song was about, and he's like, "No, I'm not going to tell you that. I refuse to tell you that because I want you to think about what it is about. You know what you think it is." And I believe that this
sure.
band is doing the same thing. You know,
Yeah,
because bands really want you to think about their song and what it means.
yeah,
And just like Rosie said, it could be about a fly, a literal fly, or it could be about a serial killer victim. We don't know,
yeah.
and we'll probably never
No,
know because I think that some bands don't want to wants to make you think of, for yourself, and I think
yeah.
this is one of the bands. So it wasn't so it wasn't really that bad, you know.
Right, right. Yeah, that one wasn't bad.
No, no.
Um, but this next one, now this next one was kind of more obvious with the music video that went along with it. I think people, it wasn't like people let this one kind of slip through. You kind of knew from the music. You maybe didn't pay attention if you just heard the song on the radio, but once you saw the music video, you knew exactly what was going on. But Pearl Jam's Jeremy, wonderful song. Um, so years before bullying became a hotly contested national debate, Pearl Jam addressed its worst case in-game scenario in their radio and MTV hit Jeremy. Based on a true story about a student who shot himself in front of his class, Eddie Vedder's lyrics painted an emotional theory on the issues that might have contributed to the young man's radical form of expression, which the singer poetically voiced as Jeremy spoke in class today. To this day, Eddie Vedder's understatement diffuses the song with innately disturbing feeling for such a beautiful song.
Yeah.
Yeah, once you get in there and you really start reading the lyrics, um, yeah, it's a really sad story about this kid.
Yeah.
Um, and based on a true story, unfortunately. So,
Right. Yeah, I think they said because I remember reading a blurb that says he read it in like a newspaper the next morning and wrote
yep,
the song based on that.
yep.
Um,
He was reading in
that-
the newspaper, decided to write it right as soon as he, yeah, got inspired. So,
yeah, right.
good song, though.
Very good song.
Yeah.
Uh, Slayer.
I was hoping you would get this one. I didn't know how it was going to line up, but I knew, and you know,
We did.
fate had its way, and you would get this one. This is my favorite. This is my favorite Slayer song.
Really?
Yep, yep.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
Slayer is like okay. So Slayer is like I think they are the second best thrash metal band fair to Metallica. Metallica's always going to be first, I think.
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
No,
Uh,
I'm with you.
Unpopular opinion. I know that some people, but that's the way it is. That's what I think. But did you hear that Kerry King wants them to come back because they officially retired like 2 years ago, last year probably.
Yeah. So he wants to bring him back.
He wants to come back because he's bored.
I'd imagine so.
Yeah. So so
Okay.
so Kerry King is thinking about making his own version of Slayer, probably.
Oh, okay. That'd be cool.
Kind of like what KK down into his Judas Priest. He called it KK's Priest. Instead of Judas Priest.
Yeah.
That's another
Sure.
use to
Okay.
college. Yeah. So,
There you go.
Slayer. Dead Skin Mask. I didn't know that this was your favorite song, man. I
My
had
favorite Slayer song. Yep.
Okay. So by the release of their fifth album, LP album, Seasons in the Abyss, another great record.
Yep.
Many thrash metal fans had started taking their heroes' penchant from controversial lyrics for granted. Perhaps encouraging the band to take it up a notch with the thoroughly haunting Dead Skin Mask. In a nutshell, the song was written as a first-person account by convicted serial killers at Gain. Who would have thought another serial killer, right?
Yeah.
I think this is the first one we talked about. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
so Ed Gein was a mass serial killer. I think
Yeah.
that's where
It's where Texas Chainsaw Massacre got their inspiration. Yeah.
exactly.
Yep.
But its true fascination arises from an unevenly so I can't pronounce that word.
Unnerving.
No, the other word after that.
Suddenly.
So yeah, unnerving simply of Tom Arai's lyrics as he attempts to sneak inside the deranged murderer's warped and mind and understand his sickening motivations.
So he's a true crime buff,
Yeah, right.
essentially. Before it was popular to be a true crime fan.
So okay. So I don't know if you know this, but they have a song called Jihad, and it's about Tom was going to write it, but Jeff did, and Jeff said, "Why don't I write the song in the eyes through an actual jihad?" And that makes the song more eerie because it's from through the eyes of him, which I guess this is the same idea, right?
Yeah.
So,
Getting into you're getting into storytelling with that. You
right.
You got to get inspired, and that was where they took that inspiration.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's your fascination with the song Dead Skin Mask? Why do you like it so much?
It's just well, I knew about the Ed Gein influence but prior to doing this episode, so I think that's one thing that attracted me to that.
Okay.
Because I'm a true crime fan. I like to watch documentaries about that type of stuff. I think it's interesting to try to find out what was their motivation. Why did they think that it was okay to do this? What was wrong with them? And it's just a fascinating thing to learn about. But I think just how eerie the song is, and then it starts out eerie, and then it just kicks in real heavy. It's just this is my everyone talks about Rain and Blood, and I do think Raining Blood is good. It's just if you tell me that their most popular song is Bleh, then I'm gonna say
nope.
I'm gonna dig into something else because I don't want to be like everybody else. And
I mean,
so in my research, that was this is my favorite Slayer song. Angel of Death is also really good because it was on one of the Tony Hawk Pro Skater games, and it was just fun to skate around to.
So my two favorite songs it's Bloodline and Disciple. I am Angel and Death is a good song, but it's not. I'm with you.
That was the early days.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
That was that old school Slayer.
Yeah. Disciple. So that's
Yeah.
what song. So check it out too.
Well, this one. So we talked about meth. We're going to talk about drugs again, and this is another song that you probably didn't pay attention to. Was ever about something other than just a normal kind of rock ballad, right? So, excuse me, Red Hot Chili Peppers, "Under the Bridge." Here's another sweet ballad that hides a terrible secret behind its mesmerizing melodies and Anthony Kiedis's understated, innocent performance. "Under the Bridge" is a touching admission of Kiedis's deadly dance with heroin addiction, an addiction that he eventually conquered, but not before watching it claim the life of Red Hot Chili Peppers guitarist Hillel Slovak in 1988. 3 years later, Kiedis transformed his pain into a beautiful smash hit, but to his credit, openly discussed its origins and probably helped many a listener cope with similar issues. That's great. That is a great way to take something as awful as heroin that ruined his life and completely consumed him, and took the life of a bandmate and made something really beautiful out of that horrible scenario. And it's one of their biggest songs,
right? Yeah,
and probably helped a lot of other people.
Yeah.
I
mean, certain songs can get you through the darkest times, and I feel like that was a song for many humans on this earth to really grasp that, so
good
for them, to bring them to light.
Sure.
Everclear.
Man, I love Everclear, dude, and not the alcoholic beverage.
I'm sure you like that too. No, but Everclear came to Columbia last month, but I didn't go. Didn't have the money.
My brother-in-law DJ, Allie's brother, went to go see them. Very jealous.
Yeah. Thanks, DJ, for not inviting him, right?
Yeah.
Thanks, DJ. Gosh. Next time, So, Santa Monica. Catchy song.
Yeah, it is.
Very, very catchy song. So the deceivingly sunny Santa Monica turned alternative rockers Everclear into household names in the summer of '95. I like the year 95. I'm 15 years old.
A good year.
Yeah. But closer inspection to the hit song lyrics revealed far darker connotations. That's because band leader Art Alexakis Art.
Sure.
Yeah. We're sorry, Art.
old buddy Art.
Old buddy Art.
Yeah.
Okay, so he allegedly drew inspiration for the song from his teenager girlfriend's suicide, as well as his own. What? Okay.
Yeah.
As well as his own
suicide,
less successful attempt. I should read it all before I judge, right? When he jumped off of Santa Monica Bridge or Santa Monica Pier, he revisited the song lyrics with that altered perspective, and you'll see why it deserves a spot here, which is true.
That is something. That's a song that I had no idea that was about. It actually did slip through the cracks for sure. I did not catch that. And honestly, when I put that in the notes, I haven't gone back to listen to that to see how I pay attention.
It does make sense because he says, "I am still dreaming of your ghost, only dreaming of."
I'm still dreaming of your ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the only part that stood out to me whenever it said that it was about his deceased girlfriend. I'm still dreaming of your ghost, but the song sounds so happy. I just never paid attention to it. Yeah. I figured it was about a breakup.
And it's such a fun video too, because they're out in the sunny days and the beach and everything.
Right.
And so it's like, so you're like, this song is like gotta be a happy song. Nope.
Yep. And it's not.
Yeah.
And this next one is definitely one that slipped
Uh,
through. Actually, no, I wouldn't say this really slipped through for me. I knew something was up with this song. Mainly from the bridge where he says, well, we'll get into it. But Toadies, Possum Kingdom, another good song. Great song. Very memorable guitar riff. But surely one of the most disturbing songs ever to invade the top 40. The Toadies Possum Kingdom combined elements of Texan folklore with religious cults to evoke a number of potential scenarios, none of them having a happy ending. What's more, the song's unusual time signature, which alternates between 4/4, 8/4, and 7/4 time signatures, actually lends another layer of unbalanced discomfort to the proceedings, culminating in a hysterical question of, do you want to die? That can send even the bravest soul running for shelter in the woods. Yeah, this is definitely one. That time signature thing, we talked about that in our This Is Halloween cover wars.
yeah.
So the same idea, it's a Halloween song, so to make it uneasy, the time signature changes, and it's never it doesn't flow very well. So you hear it and you hear that beginning of the song and you're kind of jamming along to it, and then they start to change it up a little bit and you're like, yeah,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, and okay, yeah, and then we're here. And then just that whole "do you want to die" part that he keeps saying over and over and over again. And then to say, "So help me Jesus." So that's where the cult thing really gets into it and makes it even more eerie. So
Yeah. Because
music video.
I was trying think of the lyrics, and
Mhm.
okay, so it says behind the boathouse, I'll show you my dark secret. I'm not gonna
Uh-huh.
lie, I want you for mine, my blushing bride. My lover might, yeah, be my lover. Don't be afraid. I didn't mean to scare you. So help me, Jesus. Yeah.
Mhm.
So that is the new song, isn't it? Holy crap.
It's weird, man. It's
Yeah.
a great song, but it is
Oh yeah.
it's
Yeah.
strange. And the music video makes it even weirder. Like so Allie loves that song. I love this song. The little project that we're doing with a friend of ours, just kind of like an acoustic cover of a lot of 90s songs. This song was on our list of things that we wanted to do.
Right.
And me and Allie, I came across an article talking about this one time, and I, talked to Allie about it, and she was like, I don't know if I can listen to that song the same now. Like, it makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So this is one of those scenarios where it's something that she can't listen to quite the same anymore. But yeah.
So the next song is, I think it's on everybody's heart and soul when I say about Alice in Chains Rooster. It's a classic song. I love it. I heard it in many, many, many bars when I used to frequent the pool halls, back in the day.
Sure.
So almost by definition, Alice in Chains' entire discography was pretty darn disturbing, which is true.
True. Yeah.
As their lyrics often dealt in drug abuse, depression, and loss of hope, while backed by a deliberate tempos that helped convey the sense that their narrator was barely hanging on.
Yeah.
Sadly, that's true.
Yep.
Um, but perhaps their most unnerving song was Jerry Control's Rooster, because it's about his father's traumatic experience in Vietnam. This made it both palpably real and couched in deceptively hopeful acoustic guitars, which is true because so I don't know if you know this, but my dad was in Vietnam, and still through this day he can't talk about anything there.
Yeah.
I get it,
Yeah.
and I get it. Um, some of the stuff he had to do, I imagine he didn't want to do, but he had to do it, because it was for him or them,
Right.
So, yeah, but the tone of the song is very eerie on its own.
Oh yeah, even
Not
before you
sure.
get to
Yeah,
the
I mean,
lyrics, yeah.
just like first note, don't I think just give some sugar stuff,
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a very eerie song too. So Heebie
Yeah,
Jeebies,
it's a great one.
you know.
And what a song for not only Jerry Cantrell to show off his guitar abilities, but also his ability to harmonize, because Jerry Cantrell had this really haunting harmony that he would always put behind um, Lane Staley's vocals, and just gave it just this sense of it matched perfectly, but it was the way that he sang behind Lane Staley just made it so creepy and eerie, but I loved it. And Rooster is a perfect example of that. And then Lane Staley's ability to take it from such a and he's like real soulful and he's low with it, and then for him to when the chorus kicks in, oh yeah, and he's just all out. It's just great, man. And it's kind of like War, right? So you have your moments where it's kind of like mellowed out for a little bit, but you're still uneasy, right?
Just,
And
just
then
right up,
at any time it could just escalate, and then before you know it, it's all out chaos. And
right,
that's kind of what Rooster uh kind of pulls off so well, I believe. So
exactly. Yeah.
yeah, but that's it. That's
Eh,
it. That's some songs that give us the heebie-jeebies now that we know the lyrics to them and what they actually mean. But if there's more that give you guys the creeps, hit us up, man. Send us some. We'll touch on this one again, because this
sure,
is not it. These are mostly rock. These are all rock songs.
right.
So I'm sure if we wanted to get into some other genres, for sure we can do that.
Yeah, we can. We can. Um, but if you are okay, so I know this we talked about a lot of stalkers and suicide stuff.
Yeah.
So, uh, but try that to let that deter you, because we have a mental health minute that can bring you back from
You
being
betcha.
depressed. So
That's right.
yeah,
So today's mental health minute, uh, break up the monotony. Okay. Although our routines make us more efficient and enhance our feelings of security and safety, a little change of pace can perk up a tedious schedule. Alter your jogging route, plan a road trip, take a walk in a different park, hang some new pictures, or try a new restaurant. But yeah, there's a lot of ways that you can, if you've got a normal, I love a routine,
yeah,
right? I think I work well with routines, but every now and then it's nice to do something a little different. You know, Allie and I both enjoy our routines that we have, but every now and then we'll change it up. And sometimes it works out pretty well where we're like, okay, well, that was cool, a little different. Sometimes it ends up being a disaster, and we're like, nope, should have stuck
done. Yeah,
with what the plan was. Shouldn't have done that. But yeah, man, I mean, little thing. Start with something little, not something that's going to ruin your day. But changing up, because I think when you get into such a routine and you can almost set your watch by how things do, plan out in the day. But just to change it up a little bit can also like change your perception of things, and like maybe how you handle certain situations or how you do this or that. And yeah, I think that's pretty useful.
yeah. All good stuff. All good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so yeah, thanks for listening to the show today. Be sure to share this with your friends and your family and Thanksgiving is either, did we say it was coming out, this is after Thanksgiving or before Thanksgiving?
After,
Can't remember.
after.
This is after Thanksgiving. Okay, so you don't have time to share this episode, but maybe you've shared some other episodes of ours with your friends and family at Thanksgiving dinner.
Right.
But if you have missed that boat, then you can share this with someone else that you know. Change it up, share it with somebody that you wouldn't normally share it with. We're available on multiple podcast apps, and please be sure to leave a rating and review wherever you can. It really helps us out, and especially if you want to see the podcast grow. And also, if you leave us a review, we'll read it right here on the show. So I really enjoy doing that. And we're looking for some new ones. So
There you
hit
go.
us up. Yep. You don't have to say much. You just say James is cool, and we'll say that.
Blake is awesome.
I hadn't got one of those. All I got is James is cool. I like what James is doing. Blake sucks.
Well, not so fast because we got to promote your podcast in a minute.
We'll get there.
Oh yeah.
We'll get there.
But the best way to contact and stay up to date with us is by following one of our many social media accounts, including Instagram at Windward's Film Podcast, Facebook WWFMS Podcast, Twitter at Windward's Film MS. Or always email us to tell us your thoughts, your requests at Windward's Podcast at gmail.com. You can view our show on YouTube at youtube.com/When Words Fail Music Speaks. You can go to our TikTok account, When Words Fail Music Speaks, and go to our website at the same thing, whenwordsfailmusicspeaks.com. I will also link a description below the description for our merchandise store. We can buy shirts, baby clothes, laptop bags, masks for the COVID stuff.
Yeah.
So you can help prevent COVID with our mask on your face. There you go. So everything
will be a great service.
Everything will be listed below. So just click on one of the click the links, and yeah, just come chat with us.
Do it. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. It's at Blake_Mosley, Mosley. YouTube.com for all of my drum playthroughs that I'm doing. I'm on so it's youtube.com/Mosley with 3 Y's. So that's MOSLEYYY. I'm on TikTok at Blake Brosley. And also I've got a new podcast out now that I'm doing called South Carolina Spook Show. It is now available on Spotify, Google Podcasts, on Breaker, Radio Public, and as of today, it is now on Apple Podcasts. So check it out. Leave me a rating and review if you don't mind.
I did.
Yes. Oh, okay. Okay, great. I didn't know that. I'll have to go read your review.
It might come.
I appreciate that.
It might show up tomorrow and the next day. The Apple's very slow about getting reviews.
Okay.
Up. Yeah.
I'll have to check that.
I'll let you a 5-star review. 5-star.
So thank you, sir. I've got one episode out right now, and I'm probably going to work on putting up another one sometime next month.
There you go.
But yeah, so and if you got any ideas, so it's all South Carolina based ghost stories, paranormal, true crime, cryptid, stuff like that. So if you're into that kind of thing, and if you've got your own stories of any ghost stories or anything like that, or if you saw the Lizard Man, I want to know about it. So hit me up, send me an email, scspookshow@gmail.com. Sources from this episode come from loudwire.com. Excuse me. And by the way, we do not own any of the music used in this episode, and no copyright infringement is intended.
Yes. So
yeah.
Until next time, y'all, thank you for listening so much, and always remember this: when words fail,
music speaks.
bye, guys.